Hi guys, so today I'm here with a bit of an update kind of video. I'm gonna basically answer the questions I'm being asked on a daily basis ever since I moved back home to Slovenia from London. How does it feel being back? What do you miss about London? Are you regretting the decision to move? And so on and so forth. I'm gonna tell you some pros and cons about moving back home, and at the end also answer your questions that you have sent me on Instagram and Facebook when I told you I'm gonna film this video yesterday. So yeah, that's the plan for this video. I do apologize if the sound is a bit off, if the lighting is a bit off. I'm filming this on my vlogging camera because I have half an hour to film and I don't have time to do the whole setup. So it's a very impromptu kind of video. But let's start with what I find the worst about moving back home. The main thing of them all is that I am not independent anymore. That doesn't really have to do much about moving countries, but more with my personal situation, I guess. I don't have a car, / I'm super afraid of driving. I need to get over my fear. So I can't really go anywhere. I feel like I'm being trapped in my own home sometimes, because in Slovenia, to get around, you definitely need a car. Even things like grocery shopping has become mission impossible if I don't have anyone to take me. I can't go on any trips that I would love to go. We have so many amazing spots out in the nature that I want to visit again after all these years, take some nice photos. But yeah, right now I can't do that because I can't just drive myself somewhere. Which is really frustrating. If anyone wants to volunteer to be my personal chauffeurs, the applications are open and I would be eternally grateful to you. Another independence related thing is that I now live with my parents. By the way, I do get along with my parents, it's fine. It's great because I don't have to pay my rent right now, which was excruciating in London. But it also means that I have to live with my parents after I've lived on my own for 4 years. I had my own habits, my own routines, and now I feel like I have to live on someone else's schedule, which is sometimes really frustrating. Yeah, I guess I just struggle losing my own routine and I feel like I don't have any me time. But I guess I should be grateful because they offer me a roof above my head at the age of 26. And I can save money and everything. But yeah, it's just different when you live on your own, and at one point I definitely want to do that again. One thing that I also miss is being anonymous. Now, I live in a very small country in a very small town where everyone kind of knows everyone, and if you happen to suffer with social anxiety yourself, you will know how difficult that sometimes is, because everywhere I go I feel like I'm being watched, I feel like I'm being judged, and I know not everyone is like that. Most people probably don't give a crap about me, but I also know that there definitely are those kind of people, because people here love to gossip, let me tell you that. So yeah, I feel like my social anxiety has gotten a bit worse again. I'm gonna try to work on it, but that's the reality of the situation. The opposite of that actually is something that I like, which I know doesn't really make any sense, but I like the fact that I know my neighbors, that my neighbors know me, that I have people around me who I can ask for help, who I can count on, which is very different than when I lived in London. And again, that has nothing to do with UK versus Slovenia. It has to do more with living in a big city versus living in a small town, because I know that if I lived in Ljubljana, the situation would be kind of similar to London. But yeah, I quite like knowing my neighbors here and have the community around me. It's just quite comforting. Like in London, I was on my own for everything. I couldn't ask anyone for help, so if my washing machine broke, I had to fix it myself. It was interesting, let me tell you that. But yeah, here I have my dad that I can ask for help. I have my handy neighbor. Oh, and there's another handy thing if you live in a small town and have like cool neighbors. You never run out of fresh fruit and veggies. In Slovenia, every house usually has a garden. And when you go for a walk around the neighborhood with your dog, let's say, you usually come back with a bag full of fresh veggies and fruit from their garden because everyone gives you something because they have too much of it. Speaking of food, I really love the quality of food here. Here it's really easy and not much more expensive to buy high quality local food. My parents go to our local market every single weekend where they buy produce from like the local farms. So yeah, the high quality food is really easy to obtain and it is not that expensive as in London. And just in general, food here is amazing compared to London, so thumbs up for that. If we go back to relationships, I feel like in Slovenia it is a lot easier to maintain relationships with your friends or like just meet up with your friends. Well, if you live in the same town. I feel like none of my Slovene friends would drive an hour to meet me, because in Slovenian terms that's like a world away. In London, an hour is like a minimum amount of time you need to get from one place to another, like if you live on the slightly opposite side of the city. But yeah, if we are in the same location, I feel like it's very easy here to meet up with people, to schedule to go for a drink. In London, at least that's like my experience, people are always busy and they have their schedules filled up for like 6 months in advance. So when you actually like speak to a friend and want to meet up, they say, oh, I'm free in like March 2009. People put their like career and everything before like socializing, just for the sake of socializing, not to like progress in their career. I know this sounds really bad, but that's how London is like oftentimes. Whereas in Slovenia, you can schedule a meeting with a friend on the same day or like a couple of hours beforehand. They're like, oh, are you free for coffee tomorrow? Or let's grab a drink in like 2 hours when you finish work. Yeah, I just feel like Slovenes put socializing before jobs and things like that. So yeah, I find that I'm more social here, despite not having a lot of friends yet. Whereas in London, I had a lot of friends, but I didn't really hang out a lot with them. I think that also has to do with the fact that Slovenes are really close with their family and friends compared to some other nations. What else do I like about living here? I love that there's nature all around me. Like, I'm looking out of the window right now and all I see are like hills and forests and green, which is great. And yeah, like I said, we have so many beautiful spots in such a close proximity in Slovenia that it's amazing. I really need to get over my fear of driving, guys. I need to start working on it next week. Like, that's it. I said it. It's on the vlog. I'm gonna vlog it next week. Sandra learns how to drive and freaks out. What else do I like? I guess just the lifestyle, I feel like, is on a much higher level, higher quality level here compared to London. In London, I feel like your lifestyle can only be good if you have shitloads of money. Whereas here, it's a bit more, you know, like that. Oh, the reverse culture shock. I can confirm it is a thing. It's not as bad as I thought it would be, although maybe ask me in a couple of months, because I feel like I'm just coming out of the honeymoon stage and, you know, entering the real world. I have definitely already had a few meltdowns last week about being able to find a job that I like and being able to like rent / buy a flat one day. Ideally, I would like to live in the capital in Ljubljana, but the prices there are quite something compared to our salaries. It's kind of like the same as in London. The only difference is that in London I could afford a room in like a house that I shared with strangers, whereas here, for the same amount of money, I get like a really nice 2-bedroom flat. But with the salary, I can't really afford it. It just looks like being single in Slovenia and trying to like rent a flat will be mission impossible. So I'm not sure how I'll deal with that situation, but we'll deal with that when we get there. Right now I can't afford to rent anything. Anyway, the reverse culture shock, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, I definitely kind of feel like a tourist / foreigner in my own country as of right now. It's really weird. Just random things like new restaurants and stuff, I don't really know any. So when people ask me, oh, where do you want to go for a drink? I'm like, you tell me. I don't know any spots here. Where do people go these days? Like, I'm literally a tourist here right now. There's not much of a reverse culture shock because I have lived here for like what, 22 years before I moved to London. So it's just the point of the matter that I need to like rewire my brain and adopt some of my old habits back, like the fact that I need to drive a car, the fact that I need to start carrying around cash with me again. In London, I paid with credit card everywhere that I went, and people in Slovenia prefer cash often. One thing that's actually really embarrassing to me is that I often don't remember certain Slovene words, and I'm afraid that in like intelligent businessy conversations I'm gonna be seen as like dumb. But it is a bit of a struggle because for the past 4 years I've only been speaking English like 24/7, apart from when I talk to my parents on Skype. But other than that, I used English all the time. And when you don't actively speak a language, even if you've spoken it for 22 years previously and it is your mother tongue, you just start forgetting words. Like when you think about saying something, I think of the English words first, and then I need to like kind of translate into Slovene. Hopefully that will change quickly. I don't know, I just feel way more comfortable speaking in English. I think YouTube here also plays a big part. Because I have all these monologues and I just feel more comfortable speaking in English now. So let's move on to the second question. I'm gonna try to be quicker with these. Do I miss London? Surprisingly, not at all. I feel quite bad saying this, but I really don't miss it. I think it's because like the last 6 months or like maybe a year when I was in London, so many bad things happened to me. I started low-key resenting it. It wasn't good for my mental health at all. My anxiety hasn't disappeared like I hoped so, but my life here is definitely more chill. So no, I don't miss the hustle and bustle of London. One thing I do miss are my friends. You know who you are, and like weird things like dumplings and dim sum, which I used to eat a lot in London. It's not even like a British thing, but yeah, just like certain things that I guess were a part of my lifestyle that I really like. Or like shopping for groceries online, I really miss that. I think in Ljubljana it is a thing, so that's good, but yeah, in my hometown this will never happen. Another question I'm also being asked all the time is, so are you staying in Slovenia? I started basically answering for now because I don't know. I have zero plans on moving back to London. It's just not the place for me. I quite like it from a tourist point of view, and I'm gonna be going there all the time to meet up with my friends, go do some shopping, and just, you know, go check out different spots and so on and so forth, like I used to do before I moved there. From that aspect, I will be going to London all the time, probably at least a couple of times a year, but I don't have any desires to move back as of right now. Am I gonna stay in Slovenia? Who the hell knows? Maybe I will choose Slovenia as my base. As I've mentioned several times before, I just want to travel a lot. So that's my, you know, main goal. But yeah, I do want to have a base as well. So realistically speaking, it's probably better for me to have a base in Slovenia. But you know, you never know what kind of opportunities pop up. And if I get a great opportunity that involves moving to another city, another country, I'm probably gonna take it. Now I'm gonna move on to some of the questions that I got asked on my social media yesterday, but I need to find them first. I think one was on YouTube. Let me find it. Oh yeah. Did anything surprise you when you came back to Slovenia? I don't think so. I really don't remember being surprised about anything. I mean, I have been visiting Slovenia while I was living in London, and I've been like talking to like my family on a daily basis, so I was like up to date with all the major happenings. So there weren't any like major surprises, I would say. I really wish I was like writing down my feelings and like things that I've noticed when I've moved back, because I didn't do that and now I kind of forgot about it already. But yeah, no, I don't think anything surprised me. Another question is, have you noticed any changes about life in Slovenia in comparison to the time when you left for London? Yes, I think I do notice changes. 4 years ago when I left, Slovenia was going through quite a big financial crisis. It was quite bad, like the job situations and everything was just a bit like meh, to be quite honest. That's one of the reasons why I left. I wanted to get experience in the field that was not functioning yet in Slovenia, which is like social media influencer marketing. But now things have changed. Slovenia is a lot more like trendy. There's like plenty of jobs opening up in the like technology related fields. So yeah, I think the changes are mainly positive. I feel like a lot of people are also more mindful of like the environment. Ljubljana, I know, was like the green capital of Europe, and I think I read an article the other day that we're like one of the most sustainable countries in the world, also when it comes to tourism and everything like that. So that's really good. Yeah, I feel like most changes are positive, apart from like politics, which apparently is still quite you know, I'm not even gonna say the word. A person asked me about my work. Basically, how does it feel continue to be a freelancer from Slovenia? How I start, how do I find new projects, are you satisfied, etc, etc. I don't know if I should do like another video on that at one point, or do like another Q&A and answer like all the random questions, because I feel like this video is getting way too long. So yeah, if you have any questions for me regarding like everything and anything, do leave them below and I'll film another Q&A that I can do like as a bonus video if that's what you would like. But to answer this one in short, as of right now, I'm still freelancing. I'm working for the same company I've been working for when I lived in London. So from that aspect, nothing has changed. However, I am in a bit of a weird situation right now. My plan is to register as a freelancer in Slovenia in 6 months time, because that's the amount of time I need to stay in the country to switch back my tax residency. Really complicated. As of right now, I can't really do much about it, but fingers crossed, I'm hoping to find enough clients by February-ish time to be able to register as a freelancer in Slovenia, which in Slovenia is opening something that's called SP. It's slightly trickier than in England, because in England taxes are lower and you pay contributions mainly on the amount of money you earn, whereas in Slovenia you pay really high taxes, plus you pay contributions every month, like hundreds of euros, even if you have zero income that month, even if you don't earn a single cent. So unless I have enough clients for me to open an SP in Slovenia, I'm gonna have to look into other options, yeah, like full-time jobs, etc. Right now I'm not looking for jobs. I am looking obviously for future clients, but I'm not looking for full-time jobs because I really want to be a freelancer. Freelancing is still my #1 goal, but you never know. But yeah, not looking into full-time jobs as of right now, because I'm actually gonna be away for a month at the end of this year. I'm going traveling on the other side of the globe, which I'm really excited about. I'm gonna tell you where I'm heading very soon, I guess. So yeah, that's why right now I'm in a bit of a limbo. We'll see what happens in February, I guess. I'm gonna keep you guys updated with that. Oh my god, I need to go. I literally leave in 5 minutes and I'm not even ready yet. Yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for future videos, and I shall see you guys soon. And also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Now that I'm not vlogging as much as I did before, I'm mainly updating you guys on what I'm up to on my Insta stories. So yeah, you can find me there. My username is the same as on YouTube, just my name, Sandra.potisek. So see you there, I guess. Bye.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking.